We are strategic storytellers. We like talking about this. Your stories need to have a strategy. They need to be direct. What is our philosophy? Being able to tell stories is really always the most exciting part of our job because people resonate with stories. If you are able to tell stories that matter, tell stories that engage, tell stories that people feel are authentic and they can resonate with, not just rehearsed corporate BS, then you really have a recipe for growth. Hello, I am Brandon Lennox. I am the founder of Zenith Strategix, a creative marketing agency based in the West Rand of Gauteng, specialising in creative storytelling and creative marketing solutions for small to medium-sized businesses. So our services include a wide array of marketing elements that we cultivate into one comprehensive strategy for businesses. So those services include strategy development and implementation, website development and maintenance and design, content creation and management, advertising implementation, and also brand development. So your logo designs, your color palettes, brand identity, all of those wonderful things. So how Zenith Strategix came about is, obviously I wanted to start my own business, but also have an entity that was able to generate creativity through marketing elements and also to be able to tell businesses stories through these marketing elements, and not just only tell those stories, but be able to visually represent them in a way that's engaging and authentic and genuine to everyone that's watching. So what do we aim to do? We aim to do a lot of things, but I think the most important thing for me is, at the end of the day, we want to work with businesses and we want to transform them into legacy builders, into not just being a money generating entity, but being able to transform and architect culture and leave a positive and lasting legacy as treating people not only as a number on a spreadsheet, but as an individual with a need and being able to fulfill that need to the best of that business's ability. And that's where marketing comes in, in terms of being able to represent genuinely who your business is, because we believe that every business has an identity and every business has a story to tell. And it's very important to be able to tell those stories in an authentic, in a genuine, and in an engaging manner. Because if you are able to tell stories that matter, tell stories that engage, tell stories that people feel are authentic and they can resonate with, not just rehearsed corporate BS, then you really have a recipe for growth, in my opinion. So, in terms of our values, for me, everything centers around humanness, being human-centered. All of the things that we do is always, how does it impact the human that is receiving it? Not just, again, as I mentioned, a number on a spreadsheet or whatever the case may be, a digital something. Because again, every single client is a person with a heart, with a mind, and being able to generate stories and marketing that is truly engaging and truly important and truly fun for them, as well as the business, is what really drives us. Another value is also that we come from a place of empathy. I don't believe that businesses should be a war zone or like this, I don't know, thunderstorm environment always. We really try to aim to treat our clients and their clients with kindness and with understanding, to be able to not just a one-size-fits-all solution, but really go in depth into what are the challenges that you experience, how do they impact you, and then from there we center that, or we center strategy around that and build with the business towards the growth that they are able, or that's the potential that they can attain. Another thing that's also very interesting and exciting for me always is we do not just look at individual elements of marketing, so just lead generation and management or just social media management. We believe that for marketing and creative marketing to be truly effective, you need to look at all of these services or elements as a combined ecosystem. Every single part has to be synergized with every other part. And not only just in marketing, because you cannot do marketing in a vacuum, but your marketing has to be able to synergize with your other business elements. That is the finance department, that's the business processes department, that's the sales department. So we always look to see what's the best strategy as to how all of these elements can be combined to generate maximal growth and also sustainable growth. So what is our philosophy? I actually like talking about this. So our philosophy consists of three main elements. The first being we are strategic storytellers. So as we all know, the story has a moral, or it has a lesson to be learned. And you might think, okay, well, a business story, really? Is there a moral to be learned? And yes, there is. I feel every single business has the potential to be able to teach their audience something, whether that is how your business functions, how people in your industry thinks, and what they believe and how they do things. And every single story has to be strategic. You can't just talk in front of a camera like I am now. Maybe, hopefully. Not hopefully. What am I saying? Anyway, ignore that. Point being, your stories need to have a strategy. They need to be directed. They need to have a goal in mind, or lesson. Whether that is to inform your audience about who you are and what you believe and how you do things, whether that is to invite them to work with you or to buy your products and services. And being able to tell stories is really always the most exciting part of our job, because people resonate with stories. We learn through stories. That's why storytelling hasn't died out for the past, I don't know how long we've been on this earth as humans, but since the dawn of time, we've been telling stories, and we've learned through stories, and we've engaged and connected with stories. And that's something that I feel is really beautiful in our industry, that we really want to drive forward. Another thing as well about our philosophy is that we aim to be cultural architects. So cultural architects, or a cultural architect, is someone that architects culture. It's someone that builds or reviews and builds and renews the ways people think, the stuff people believes, and how they do things. And again, as I mentioned, every single business has the potential to be a cultural architect, and that's what we aim to achieve in our marketing efforts and services for businesses as well, is to be able to excuse me, is to be able to transform them into a business that really makes a difference in terms of how people think, how they feel, how they view things, how they do things. And that, at the end of the day, is how I believe we can change and transform the world for the better. And then the other thing as well, in terms of our philosophy, so this is the third element, is that we are identity transmutists. So it kind of, or transmutation, goes to this idea of alchemy and being able to take one thing and transform it into, or transmute it into something else through various processes. And every single business has an identity, but that identity cannot stay stagnant. It continuously needs to adapt. It continuously needs to grow. And for that, you need, again, strategy, but you need someone that can show you who you can be. And that's what Zenith always tries to achieve, is to show businesses who they can become through being able to tell their stories, through being able to think differently about marketing. So at the end of the day, if this message and what I've blabbered on for a few minutes resonates with you, and you feel that your business can really get value from who we are and what we believe in, and that our values and philosophy aligns with what you want to do with your business, give us a call, give us an email. Okay, you can't give someone an email. Send us an email, and let's see how we can work together and transform your business into cultural architects and identity transmutists of your own, and be able to tell creative stories together that inspires and transform our world for the better. Take care.